in the tasting room with two more beers to taste. These are seasonal beers, summer beers. Our first one is from the Deschutes Brewery in Bend, Oregon. Now personally, I really like the Deschutes Porter. It's one of them that I will buy quite a bit because I enjoy that dark beer. Never tried their Twilight, so let's give that one a go. Very light colored beer. All right, lovely beer. It has a very fragrant floral smell to it. Really like that. Don't smell much of the malts at all, but I wouldn't expect to in a light beer. And on our score sheet, which we have a total of 50 points, the aroma, we have a score of 1 to 12, and I'm gonna give it a 7. It's a beautiful beer, very clear. Carbonation is still being released, and it's fun to watch the bubbles go to the surface. So as far as its appearance, I'm going to give it a 2. And it seems I go 2 with most beers. Again, we've talked about the fact that I don't care what the beer looks like, I could close my eyes and I'm going to drink beer. So here comes the big one, the taste of the summer solstice. It's delightful. It's delightful. Not real hoppy, just enough hops. This is a 5% alcohol by content beer and an IBU, the International Bittering Unit, of 35. I think it refills the mouth lovely, the aftertaste is delicious, and it's a very refreshing beer that you would drink on a very hot summer afternoon. This is delicious. So, I'm going to give it on its flavor. We have up to 20. I'm going to give it a 12. It's not a big flavored beer, it's just a refreshing beer. As far as the mouthfeel is concerned, I feel the carbonation release is excellent. The movement over my tongue is excellent. I like the mouthfeel of this. And on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to give this beer a 4. So my overall feel is this would be a delicious beer, hot summer afternoon, 6-pack and buddies down by a river. You're going to have a good time. So my overall impression on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 7. So that gives me 11, 23, 25, 32. I like the beer. All right, our next beer is from Anderson Valley Brewing in Boonville, California. Now, I had no clue where Boonville was. I had to go look it up. It's in Northern California. And quite honestly, it looks like it'd be an excellent ride to get to it from my house. This is their Summer Solstice Cerveza Crema. Their website says it has an alcohol content of 5.6 and an IBU, the International Bittering Unit, of 4. Now that surprises me because that's a very low number. So we're going to have to find out here if this has no hoppy taste at all. A little darker. As you can see, more of a honey look. Beautiful head. Nice clear beer. Let's see what it smells like. All right, I don't get much of a sense of smell at all. I don't smell much hoppiness. And I don't smell a whole lot of malt either. So, as far as an aroma is concerned, this one is not going to score well. I'm giving it a 2 out of 12. Its appearance is beautiful. I think you and I both know I'm going to give it a 2. I don't care what the beer looks like, neither do you. All right, now this is where I'm really curious, because with a 4 of an IBU, this has got to have no bittering whatsoever. So we're going to see if maybe it was just a misprint on their website. This was not a misprint. Oh my goodness. This one's taken me by surprise. This is a delicious beer, a delightful beer. I was expecting it to be hoppier because I thought it was a misprint. No. This has got more of a honey flavor. Sweetness. This is really nice. The carbonation is not as heavy as the previous beer, but the flavor is wonderful. So as far as the flavor is concerned in this category, on a scale of 1 to 20, I'm going to give this a 17. The mouthfeel. I didn't have much of a mouthfeel. I didn't have the carbonation bubbling in my mouth as I did with the first beer. So the mouthfeel really left me with, there really wasn't much, except it was delicious. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm giving it a 2. My overall impression, I was surprised by the flavor of this beer, and I was surprised by the low IBUs. I think most pale beers, I expect it to be a little hoppier. Not that I necessarily have to have it that way. If I want a hoppy beer, you know where I'm going. I want an IPA. This is just a delicious, delicious beer. I can see this sitting down in an afternoon, discussing the world and what you're going to do to make it better, munching on some nuts or granola. This would be a great backpacking beer. So overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this beer a 7. So that gives me 9, 16, 26, 28. This is only going to get a 30. I do find it kind of interesting, comparing the different beers, and sometimes we have preconceived ideas, but oftentimes, which beer am I going to drink? Well, I'm going to take this one. I like the flavor of this. This one had less, but if you compare the two scores, this one is 2 points lower. And I think it had a lot to do with the fact that it had no aroma and very little mouthfeel. Well, I think you'll enjoy both of them. It's fun to go exploring and finding new beers. Please, if you have some microbreweries around your area, let me know about them. I want to get a hold of them and see if I can't get some of their beer to taste. Because I have to admit, this is my favorite part of the show. We'll see you next week in the tasting room.